want to welcome in to the Shepherd Home Health and Hospice Studios, Mr. Floyd King. Good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Good to be here.
Hey, good to have you here. So you are running for Ouachita County Commissioner in District 3, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I was just kind of getting to know you. I mean, you're a Ouachita County guy. I grew up in Ouachita County. I'm sure at some point we've crossed paths. But
yeah, I'm sure.
And you actually work at Cummins over here in Weatherford, right?
Yeah, I'm still working.
That's cool. And you told me that you actually worked for Mr. Davidson back
Yes,
years ago.
Super good guy. I really liked him.
Without a doubt. Well, that's so cool that you're still at Cummins. They're good folks as well. And you're over at the Chevy dealership now?
Yeah, kind of surprised me.
Yeah. So you've been doing this, 30-something years, you said?
I've spent 40 years with Ford.
Wow. That's incredible. All right. And now working on Chevys. Is that kind of hard to do, making the switch?
They gave me just mainly light work.
Okay.
I guess they like me or something. I don't know.
Keep you around, right? Well, you decided to throw your hat in the ring for Ouachita County Commissioner. So let's kind of talk about your Ouachita County roots, and in addition to working, you kind of live in north of Burns Flat.
Yeah, about a mile north of Burns Flat, right there on top of the hill on Highway 44.
So were you raised in the county, or?
Most of my life I was out of Cordell. I drove back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
But, we got a farm that my wife was supposed to inherit, but anyway, I'll pass that off. But we're living up there. We really like it. It's a little 40-acre farm, and
Nice.
we have a few sheep and some other stuff. But it's nice and laid back out there.
It is laid back. Well, and not easy farming or ranching or anything nowadays, isn't it? Everything's kind of expensive.
Yeah, and like I tell everybody, you get up the other morning, and I got up at like 5 o'clock and went into the bathroom and turned on the shower, and the water just dribbled. And I said, "Welcome to the farm. We have a well."
That's farm life. Sometimes the well is working, sometimes not very well. Well, let's talk about why you decided to run for Ouachita County Commissioner. You were telling me you ran before, right?
Yeah, I ran 4 years ago. Lost by 18 votes.
Wow.
It's because we didn't have a good, a lot of people just didn't vote, and that's what I think killed me at that time. But hopefully we're going to do better the second round here, and I think we've got some good people on our side that's helping me out and everything else. So hopefully we're going to get to that point.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because we actually had this discussion off the air. What a lot of people don't realize is that commissioner races, just like sheriff's races, they're no different than governor and lieutenant governor. They're actually partisan, so you have to run as a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, and you and your opponent are both on the Republican side. So instead of this race being decided in November, it's going to be decided a week from Tuesday.
Yes. Day's getting closer by the minute.
It is. So what's been the campaigning like? Do you just kind of go door to door? Or?
I haven't got to do a lot of that this time like I did last time. I recently had a knee surgery, and it's kind of hard to walk door to door. But I've tried to talk. I've got a lot of people on my side that have talked to people and tried to put the news out. And actually, I hadn't decided to run for this until about 2 weeks before the sign-in.
Oh, really?
And I had several people kind of push me, said, we need to get a change in here.
So what were some of the things that prompted you to run last time and this time? Are you just not happy with the direction of the government right now?
That's part of it, and the other part of it is you got to take care of the whole District 3, not just certain pieces and certain people. That happens way too often. I want to be where I work for the whole District 3 and do everything I can for the people there. There's a lot of good people out there.
And talk about the area of District 3. What does that encompass, actually?
Foss, Canute, Burns Flat, Sentinel, Canute. That's basically it. It's mainly the western side of the county.
Rural areas and not a lot of major retail and stuff like that, obviously,
No,
right?
We actually need to get some of that, I hope, eventually.
Do you think with maybe some of the things that are going on at what they call Spaceport and Burns Flat, could that be a boon for the district?
I think it will help. A lot of people said something about, I didn't go to the meeting that they had over there, and they said supposedly you're going to want a whole bunch of people that are highly educated, and the guy there said, no, I need people that work with their hands. So that sounded good to me because we need more employment.
Yeah, we do. And anytime you bring jobs out here, and of course, the other key side of it, you've got to have housing for these employees too, right?
Yeah, that would definitely help. How many people they're going to hire, we don't know yet. I think it's just going to be one deal that's going to take a while to actually happen.
And isn't there, and I will say I'm one of these people, I'm always excited when I hear about things out there, but, growing up here, even though I was away for about 10 years, I've been back 30 years, and over the years, there's always been some new entity that was going to go. I remember Rocket Plane X, that was going to be the big deal. They got all these tax breaks, and then went bankrupt, sold some of their tax credits. We've told there was going to be an airplane maintenance facility, from Boeing years ago. And so are you kind of like, I'll believe it when I see it, guy?
Yes. I do think this deal is going now. I think it's got a good possibility of happening, and I sure hope it does.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And once again, don't want to ever be a naysayer, but I just think if we've been burned before a few times, it's natural to be a little hesitant, right?
Oh, yeah. You just kind of take it with a grain of salt and just kind of wait and watch and see what happens.
Well, Floyd King is our guest. He's running for Ouachita County Commissioner, District 3. Once again, this race is going to be decided in the primary on June 16th, just a week and a half away. So obviously, County Commissioner, roads and bridges, a big part of the job, and I want to delve into that a little bit. But what are the other key aspects of being a commissioner that you think are important?
Well, you're heavily involved in the county as far as what some of the problem areas are whenever they have their meetings and everything else, and they try to put everything they can kind of on the front part of what you need to do. There's two sides to that story, but I'm not going to get into a whole lot of that right now.
You're talking about budgeting and stuff like that, right?
That's all part of it, and it's something that has to be done.
Yeah, and the budget's tough because when you look at Ouachita County, land-wise, it's basically the same size as Custer County and Dewey County, but less population, less retail. Property values probably aren't the same, as places in Custer County. So you start at a lesser point with revenue, right? And it's probably hard to fund everything that you want to, right?
Yes. And that's been part of the problem that they've had between, I'll say, maybe the commissioners and the guy that just took over in the assessor's office. Rusty's a super good guy, and he does a good job. He's the only elected official that I've ever seen that's working late at nights and comes in and works Saturdays, even Sundays if he has to get his stuff taken care of. He's a good guy, and he works hard.
Well, and like I say, with all the different entities of county government, you have to work on the budget, fund each one. I'm sure if you talk to every office out there, they'd say, "Hey, we'd like more money," but there's only so much to go around, right?
That's right. We have to budget what we've got and do the best from there, and then hopefully eventually we'll get back in the green better.
And so that's a big part is, being a county commissioner, overseeing the budget. Then you have things like, sales tax. Obviously, you have a county sales tax that's out there. Different percentages go to different things. And is there one coming up pretty soon, renewal, or is that still quite a few years away?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. I know usually, it seems like every 4 to 6 years, one of them is expiring and you have to re-up on it. But, obviously there's some to help fund, rural fire and ambulance service. Do you have any thoughts on what's happening in Burns Flat, more your neck of the woods, losing the ambulance service? They had, an all-volunteer group before?
Yeah, it's been a lot of people use that service. I've used it before. I hate to see that happen in small towns like this. And, something happens and somebody needs to get in a hurry and get to the hospital or wherever. We need to have somebody that can get there quicker, because otherwise right now Cordell is sending the wreckers out to there. Or, I mean, not the wreckers, but the ambulance.
Right. Response time, critical. Now, how did it, and you may not know the answer to this, but in just the brief conversations I've had, how did it get to be just a volunteer ambulance service? Does the city of Burns Flat, for example, they don't have the budget to hire like an EMT or something? Or
I assume that's a lot of the problem.
Okay.
And some of the people that were working there, I guess they were disgruntled with a few things, and it happened. I didn't know nothing about it until just the other day.
Yeah, when I found out it was all volunteer, I was like, wow, that's commendable that they did that. But you can understand if they're being offered jobs, with pay, you've got to do that. So now, will this eventually? I know Signer is covering Burns Flat for now. I think Elk City is covering, Canute and things like that. But those may just be temporary fixes. Is there a point that it comes to the county commissioners and say, hey, you guys have got to try to come up with a way to fund this, or is that more a city by city deal?
I think it's going to take the city and the county to get it back up and running. I hope they can figure out some things on that where they can get it back up, because the people out there need that service.
Absolutely. And, already, too many miles away from the nearest hospital. And you've got some people go to Elk City, some people go to Cordell, some people go to Clinton, some people go to Hobart. It's kind of a vast territory in Washita County.
But, I really respect them people that do that.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate all our first responders. We're talking to Floyd King, candidate for Washita County Commissioner. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little roads and bridges, a few other things happening in the county. Back with more right after this.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
I am Jessica Weingart, candidate for State Senate District 26. Rural Oklahoma needs leadership that understands our communities, our schools, and our economy. I've worked in agriculture, served our local schools, and know how important oil and gas is to families across western Oklahoma. As a mom raising daughters in public schools, I'm invested in our future and ready to fight for conservative values and common sense leadership. On June 16th, I'd be honored to earn your vote. Paid for by Jessica Weingart for State Senate 2026.
Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro, the best in friendly small-town customer service, hosting everything from fresh hand-cut steaks, fresh ground beef made in-house, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, grown and made in Oklahoma nuts, candies, salsas, pickles, and more. And don't forget to check out the Variety side, full of unique made-in-Oklahoma gift items. And now, treat yourself to the brand-new ice cream and coffee parlor, your new go-to spot for a sweet scoop or a fresh brew. Shop Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro.
When you're making decisions as important as choosing home health or hospice for a loved one, it's important to ask the right questions. Are they locally owned? Are they proven through years of successful business practices? If necessary, can you transition from home health to hospice with the same care given? You can find all this and more at your locally owned Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. They've been serving Clinton and the surrounding area since 2006 with dependable, local, and reliable care. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice of Clinton. Call today.
When it comes to your business being noticed, it's Davis Printing. Sure, they do business cards, envelopes, brochures, newsletters, and carbonless forms, but they go way beyond print. Need mailing solutions, postcards, letters, invoices, quarterly reports? They have it covered. Want to stand out? Banners, wall wraps, monument signs, channel letters, window graphics, and even digital signs. And don't forget the swag. Shirts, pins, promo gear, all personalized. All across Oklahoma, Davis Printing delivers. Email davisprinting@att.net. And let's get to work.
Conservative, Republican, endorsed by President Trump, Frank Lucas.
I hear over and over to fight and protect what matters most. So I stood with President Trump and championed the Save America Act to require proof of American citizenship, to prevent illegal immigrants from voting in our elections. And as a grandfather to 3 granddaughters, I oppose biological males from competing in women's sports. I'm Frank Lucas, and I approve this message because protecting elections and the integrity of women's sports in Oklahoma, well, we always protect what matters most.
Frank Lucas has worked with President Trump against the woke, radical, DEI-loving liberals who are trying to destroy our country. That's why President Trump has given Frank Lucas his
complete and total endorsement.
On Tuesday, June 16th, conservative, Republican, MAGA. Frank Lucas for Congress. Paid for by Lucas for Congress.
Save now during the Memorial Day sale. Dave, I need a dishwasher.
Well, you're in the right place, Harold. Check these Bosch dishwashers out.
Something else I understand during the sale, you can get up to a $4,000 rebate if you completely redo your kitchen.
Right. If you buy a whole kitchen, you can save up to $4,000, and we've already got everything marked down. So you're going to double dip. We're Bosch Direct. You're not going to buy it any cheaper anywhere else.
That's the Memorial Day sale going on at Todd Fest. Nothing down, no interest. Todd Fest, downtown Weatherford.
Welcome back to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show. Our guest this morning is Floyd King. He's a candidate for Ouachita County Commissioner, District 3. So, Mr. King, kind of tell me your hot button issues. What are some of the important things that you'd like to accomplish if you get in there?
Well, you know, a lot of that stuff they've been doing for 30 and 40 years, and I don't know if they're looking for any other changes where we could possibly save some money here or do another job a cheaper way. And we definitely got to take care of the roads and bridges. Everybody's got to be able to go where they need to go. So that would be one of the things I would really be looking at is exactly what are we doing and what's the most important things to be doing and spending our money on, and not any more than we have to.
When you kind of mentioned roads and bridges earlier, you said there's sometimes a feeling that some areas of the county get more attention than others, and you'd like to change that?
I want to take care of everybody out there, not just a few. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or you're the poorest person out there. If there's something I can do as far as roads and bridges or whatever to help those type people out, I will do it.
And I imagine it all comes down to money, right? Because
yes.
Each year you can budget to do X amount of miles. And
yeah. Of course, there's other things, you know, like several years ago we had several bridges get washed out, and that was a disaster for sure because there's a lot of traffic between Bessie and Canute, and a lot of traffic from Sentinel going north. Most of the ones from down there come in on the highways, but the people that leave Burns Flat or Bessie, they take that back road that goes, you know, straight over to Canute.
Yeah.
They're working on that now, but it's a long ways from being what it was. I thought they were really going to, you know, update it good because it's so rough and everything, but I've heard they're just putting a light overlay on certain parts, so I don't know exactly what's going on with that either, but I'd like to find out. Because like I said, there's a ton of people that go that way to Elk City and Canute both.
Sure. What are some of the other issues in the county that are kind of important to you?
This budget deal and everything else has got to come to a close some way or another. It's caused a lot of problems as far as people getting along in the courthouse and everything. You know, my wife worked there 18 years and talked about how wonderful it was when she first started down there now, and now we're down to the point where people are not talking to each other. It's just and it's not really that big a deal that can't be handled and taken care of with just a little common sense would go a long way.
Communication and then keeping crazy ladies from trying to burst into the office and stuff.
Yeah, my wife met that lady. She come through that door and told her she was going to shoot her.
Wow, yeah, if you folks don't know what happened, about a month ago, some psycho lady just ran up into the courthouse, went to the assessor's office, tried to go into the judge's chambers and threatened. And then allegedly, when they went to her home, they found like a van loaded with all kinds of ammunition and stuff. And so now they're putting in, metal detectors and all kinds of new security stuff at the courthouse, right?
Yeah. And, you know, they got the cameras and everything, but I'm not sure whether the sheriff's department sees them or if it's just the county clerk. I'm not sure. It needs to have a feed to the sheriff's department, though, and city, you know, the city police department's right across the street. But,
yeah,
you know, if something happens and somebody can hit a button or make a quick call and they're close to us, you know, and they can come help us out.
Isn't it crazy that you think of a small town like Cordell, small county like Ouachita, you know, you hear big city people, you know, attacking court. You just don't dream of something happening in Cordell, but obviously.
Yeah, it does. This happens everywhere. There's, you know, and a lot of that's tied to drugs and other stuff like that. And that's a real serious problem that needs to be dealt with too. But we're a long ways from getting there.
Well, so let's bottom line it for people. Floyd King, by the way, is our guest running for District 3 County Commissioner. Why do you feel you're the best person for the job?
I think with not actually being in that business 30 years gives me a chance to look at how things are done and see if we can't do something better and cheaper maybe. I mean, I don't want it to be cheap enough that it's going to cause a problem too soon. We want to take care of it and do it right. But, you know, like I said, I haven't done this type of work, but I've had a lot of manager experience. And that's some of the stuff I need to look at, I think, and see what we can do. And just like you said, you know, we're low on money and everything right now, so we've got to be very wise on how we spend it.
Well, if people want more information about you or your campaign, what is the best way to do that? Do you have a social media page and stuff like that?
We tried that last time. Didn't work real well.
Okay.
We're fixing to send out some flyers. And
Okay.
it does have my phone number on it where they can contact me if they've got any questions about anything, and we'll discuss it and see what we can do.
All right. Anything else you want to let the folks know before we wrap up here?
I'd just like everybody to know that the sweet lady I'm married to is Merle. She does work in the courthouse, and I accuse her of having too many boyfriends when she's working out in the front yard, working on all of her stuff. Every cart goes by honks at her.
Oh, boy.
She's well known throughout the county.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it was so nice to meet you in person. And once again, election coming up on June 16th. It will not be in the general election, folks. So it's going to be in the Republican primary. So we always encourage people to get out and do your civic duty and vote. Floyd King, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Stick around. News coming your way next.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. Despite the price at the pump, Oklahoma Turnpike Authority Finance Director Wendy Smith says more drivers traversed the turnpikes in April than in March.
I-44 corridor is obviously made up of the Turner, Will Rogers, and H.E. Bailey, and it is actually up 8.4%. I really look at that as a really good indicator that the economy is still going strong.
In April, toll revenue for just the I-44 corridor totaled $18.5 million, an increase of $1 million or 5.6% over April of 2025. Overall, toll revenues in April topped $41.5 million. The city of Glenpool announces residents will see higher utility bills beginning next month. The Glenpool City Council and Utility Service Authority approved the rate increase to take effect July 1st. Officials say this is the first increase to water, sewer, and stormwater rates since 2015. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
Breaking news. President Donald Trump endorses conservative Mike Mazzei for governor. President Trump says Mazzei is a MAGA warrior, and that Mike Mazzei knows the America First policies required to grow our economy, create great jobs, cut taxes and regulations, promote Made in the USA, and unleash American energy dominance. Trump says Mike Mazzei will fight tirelessly to support our amazing farmers and ranchers, keep our borders safe and secure, stop migrant crime, ensure law and order, and defend our always under siege Second Amendment. President Trump gave conservative Mike Mazzei his complete and total endorsement.
This is Mike Mazzei. I'm honored to be endorsed by President Trump. Like Trump, I won't compromise with the radical left. We'll fight back and win.
Endorsed by President Donald Trump. Conservative Republican Mike Mazzei for governor. Authorized and paid for by Mazzei for Governor 2026.
State Representative Anthony Moore.
Rick Cook tells it like it is, and he doesn't back down. He's tough. He's direct. Rick doesn't care about political games. He cares about getting results and standing up for our values. I need Rick fighting right along beside me in the Oklahoma legislature.
Conservative businessman Rick Cook will fight to secure the border, protect rural Oklahoma, and stand with President Trump. Rick Cook for State Senate. Tough leadership, real results.
Hi, I'm Rick Cook. Help me make Western Oklahoma great again. Paid for by Friends of Rick Cook, 2026.
Welcome back to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, 7:33. We got John Matthews joining us in the News Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We're shaving our head this morning, Todd. So if you need a fresh bald cut, we're for the last chemo treatment for Val the Gal.
That is awesome.
Is tomorrow. So Blake's back in the studio. He's got the razor blades out. He's got the shaving cream out. And we're celebrating the $160,000 in debt that this chemo has cost.
Oh, man.
What a world we live in.
Isn't it crazy how much stuff like that costs?
Yeah.
I mean, we had somebody that we know. I don't want to give too much away because I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it. But somebody had to have rabies shots.
Oh yeah,
and wasn't it like $30,000?
Crystal Blackwell. Yeah.
Oh, we can name.
Yeah,
the
we
name?
can name names. She got bit by a monkey.
Girl.
She tried to bring back coronavirus,
Ebola.
That's what it was to the Americas. Snuck through customs and had to get $30,000 worth of rabies shots.
I never dreamed that it cost that much to get rabies shots.
No, not in 2026. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But that's also why you don't get bit by a monkey. Maybe that's why you don't go to Mexico.
Well, I wouldn't. Would you want to go there? I can't believe some other people just got back from a trip. I don't care if you're in an all-inclusive resort or something like that. That is one country I would not go to right now. I'm sorry.
No, take me to Foss Lake, please.
Yeah.
I'll do Fort Cobb. I don't need
Christmas in July is coming up.
Money, but yes. No, Christmas in July, everything. No, I'm out. I do not need to be in Mexico. Plus salt water. You ever get that in your mouth?
Oh yeah,
and it rubs your nipples. Like it makes it.
Let's
raw.
don't talk about your nipples, please.
I'm so sorry.
We were talking about your hair, then your nipples.
So sorry, it's too much.